crazy. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I?
Over the last, let's say, month or so, there's been a number of stories that have come out involving young black men that have violated some sort of moral code in which they, let's say, within the social media circles and within the black community, they've been called out for their actions, and rightly so. So, for example, you had Octavian.
You're a fucking cunt. You won't get in my house. I'll beat the shit out of you.
A couple of weeks ago now, he's been accused of abusing his girlfriend, and she's provided evidence to show that he put his hands on her and dashed her out the yard. And some photographs came up showing, some bruising and stuff like that. And there's a video of her screaming, and the claim is that he was abusing her at the time, and she captured it on video. That whole story, I would say, for me, I put a little bit of a question mark on it, because there are certain things within that whole story to me that don't kind of add up in her version of the story.
Go for 3 years, and then she posts one video showing nothing, and everyone thinks I'm an abuser.
But then again, his version don't make much sense neither. But this video today is not about that, right? There's another story where they had a young black man, Cadian Nelson.
Why are you fucking stalking him, bro?
Are you okay? Do you know him?
Who was trying to abduct a young girl on the way to school, right? And black social media, they got on that quick. Thank you to the girl that captured it and kind of questioned what he was doing and followed him and exposed him for what he was. You know what I mean? That got dealt with quickly. Great for that. And then most recently now, you've had Dutchavelli, another rapper, who's been accused of.
But the main focus of these DMs was a leaked conversation between Dutchavelli and a 14-year-old girl, and this 14-year-old girl was Fox's niece now.
And he's been called a nonce now, you know what I mean, for having. I don't know what the story. I don't know exactly what the stories were, but from what, I don't know exactly what the conversations we were having were. But apparently, he was having sexually explicit conversations. And at the end of the day, yeah, all of these gentlemen at the end of the day have been called out by social media commentators, content creators, and expressing their disappointment and showing that, look, this is unacceptable behaviour, and you know what I mean. And to the point where Octavian got dropped by his label, and it looks like Dutchavelli, I'm not saying he's been dropped by his label, but a lot of his support has kind of started to flitter away slightly. You know what I mean? Which for me, when I look at it, I think this is a good thing, because it shows me that there is a moral standard within the black community, right? And it shows that we do care about ourselves, Black Lives Matter and all those things there. You know what I mean? Now, the thing for me is this. Should we not show the same energy as we did for those guys as we do for certain artists and individuals that come out making songs that are derogatory and degenerative towards the black community? You know what I mean? Should we not show them the same energy? An artist that was specifically or purposely in his music, he's gesturing, he's calling out other individuals that in some cases have led to violence.
A rapper known as Lil M Dot has been found guilty of GBH with intent. I remember Lil M Dot, known as Joshua Era, who's 18 years old, from several years ago during the Shoki time. Shoki and M Dot, he's older, were both killed in the same year in what police believe was gang-related activity. Shoki was a very big artist in the music scene. He'd appeared on Mixtape Madness and several other music channels where he got millions of views.
Not like the situations where there's this one guy doing an interview and he's talking about how, oh no, my music doesn't create violence because the people that listen to my music don't do violence amongst themselves. And what he's basically saying is that most of his audience are white people.
All you're going to see in that crowd, majority are just going to be bare white kids from wherever, all over the place. If you look at the crime rate in wherever, Yorkshire or Bristol, whatever, it's not the same as where the badness is really going on. So they're not really my support. If you're saying I'm inciting violence, I'm not inciting it to my hood or any other hood, because they're not really the ones listening like that. But it's the white kids that's listening.
Yeah, but you can't say you're not inciting it into other hoods.
I'm not, because the people in the hoods are not listening like that.
You'll be in your songs talking about you're spraying up your ops. And then, so if your ops are listening to that song, is that not inciting violence? Is that not waiting for a reaction to happen?
But the truth of the matter of fact is that even though the white people aren't committing violence amongst themselves, the individuals who you might be talking about in your record are, right? And for me, shouldn't we be calling these people out in the same way we do with the nonces and the abusers and the paedophiles? You know what I mean? And it's not like it hasn't been done before. Because I remember just before the lockdown, or just after Christmas, I think it was, there was a track that came out, and I can't remember for my life what the name of the crew is because I can't find them anymore. But they did a track, and there was a group of guys in the drill scene. They did a track in which they were calling out violent crimes where the people who were involved were dead. Yeah, and what it was, they were saying that, oh, I know so-and-so who did this, and I know so-and-so who did that, and I was involved in that killing of that person, and this, that, something to that effect. I mean, I'm paraphrasing there. But at the end of the day, when they released that song, right, as good as the beat was and everything, what they were saying, people shot them to, well, when they shot them to bits, that's a kind of bad choice of words there, really, isn't it? But people dragged them for that. They came down hard and said, no, now you've crossed the line. You've crossed the line, you can't be going out there and saying that. Now, since then, I haven't really heard much, but I don't really follow the scene too tough, so I don't know what they're doing now. But the silver lining in that situation was the fact that people came out in force and said, no, and they kind of like drew a line in and said, no, you've kind of like stepped over the line there, you can't do that. Yeah. So again, a moral standard has been set there. So for me personally now, I'm thinking about drill artists and other artists, not just drill, grime, hip hop artists in general, yeah, who go out there promoting and using their status and saying, I'm a rapper, yeah, to claim that, oh, it's just entertainment. Because you know what, right? I'll be fair, right? A lot of the rappers who come out there, right, do know that they're just saying things for the sake of saying things.
You'll say something, what you've done, you'll talk about, you're going to...
But it's not necessarily true.
So then, that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Because these kids making drill songs, these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds making drill songs, most of them are not like that. Most of these rappers are not even involved in
So that's
stuff.
exactly what I'm saying.
And it is, as they say, it's just entertainment. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, and it's what the audience wants, right? But again, how I see is that if you looking at the prize as in I'm going to become rich and successful out of this, yeah, but you're not really more bothered about the method in how you do it, that don't sit well with me, because at the end of the day, what you're promoting in your music is violence against other black people like yourselves, and you don't seem to care about that as long as you get paid. You know what I mean?
Lie. What is the point then?
It sells.
And for me, that ain't gonna work, because at the end of the day, only one person can win a foot race. And if you have 50 people trying to win the foot race doing the same thing as you do, then like I says, the violence that you promote in your music might not go out to your white audience and your white fans, or it might not go down. Even people like myself, I listen to rap all the time. I don't listen to a track and think, oh, I'm gonna go out and do something wrong, right? However, the people that are following in your footsteps, or who want to be rappers as well, you keep promoting this thing and putting this is it earworm? You keep promoting these ideals, and in the earworm, it manifests like into realities. And those realities become where you got people on social media, you know what I mean, going around calling out man's names, chatting this and chatting that, saying this and say, oh, I see you at the end. When you wait till I see you on the street.
Look at this, fam. No, like, seriously, fam. People are pissing me off today. Because you don't know, you can never say this to my face, fam. I'll bust man's head, fam. Like, seriously, bro. I will smoke, man, differently, bro. Man don't want to end up like these op packs and that, man, them smoke on every day, bro. Like, you fool me, fam.
And then that's where the violence comes in. And it could all start from a song. Now, I'm not saying that this is the main cause, or I'm not trying to imply that this is the main cause for a lot of the violence within the black community, especially like within major inner cities. I'm not saying it's the main cause, but at the same time, you can't deny a correlation between certain lyrics and certain artists promoting this kind of music and violence that is actually happening. You know what I mean? So, like I says, yeah, I cut this one kind of short and sweet, right? Should we not show the same energy for those artists, yeah, who promote this kind of violence in their music, even though they consider it to be entertainment? Should we not show them the same energy if in a situation where something does break out and it happens to be between one crew or one crew from another end, and they happen to be in the rap game as well? Should we not call them out, you know what I mean, and show them the same energy that they've shown towards these guys that we consider to be pedophiles and abusers? You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to say today. I don't think I got anything else to say on that. I did, but it's kind of like skipped my mind. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
Yes. Am I? Yes. Am I? Yes.